welcome to another Live with Otto Gomes. Today I have the one and only, the one of 12, if you know, you know, Dr. Ben T4pper. Dr. Tapper, I'll tell you guys why I wrote his name T4pper and not actually wrote out his name. I'll tell you why. But yes, guys, we are going to be connecting with the infamous Dr. Ben Tapper. I want to show you guys a little clip here that I pulled up, and I thought it would be a nice introduction to our... He's good. I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please welcome the one, I love this picture, the only Dr. Ben Tapper. All right, give him a second. Come in here. There he is.
Otto, what is up, my man?
How's it going, brother?
It's going good, brother. It's good to see your face in the digital realm. Thanks for playing that video. Give me a shout out. It's always kind of awkward to see yourself playing, but it's always fun to do that stuff, man. It's therapeutic, and music is good for the soul.
I agree, man. I love that you started doing the. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yep. There we go.
I love that you started doing those because, like, just sharing more of your other skills. Like, what else do you do? Because I feel like we're moving into a reality where that's what's really going to matter. It's like, it's not going to be your degree. It's not going to be what your job is. It's not going to be any of that stuff. It's going to be like, well, how are you tapping into your childhood self? How are you having fun? How are you sharing love? So I'm grateful for you and your ability to not only be a warrior in this matrix reality, but also be able to tap into that love and that childlike self, which I just shared a picture of you when you were younger, and you look so happy there as you do now.
Dude, that is funny. You got that childhood picture, because that's like I have 4 kiddos, and my second youngest, he's my mini-me. He looks just like me in that picture. But yeah, man, life's a bicycle wheel. I mean, Zig Ziglar talks about that, how every area in life is like it's a bicycle wheel, it's a spoke on the wheel. And if we don't have, if we don't spend time on each spoke, you're not going to have balance in life. And, obviously this fight that I'm in, I do so because I feel convicted to be in it and speaking out. That's the only reason I do so. But really it's, it can be such a burden. So we have to tap into those areas that help, eliminate stress, that are therapeutic, that are also good for the body, good for the mind. Because, really fighting this fight continuously, it is a burden. And especially when people are just, they call you crazy or a loon, and you fight for those people that call you those names. And they're completely oblivious to how you're defending those people, the people that speak out against you. We fight for those people. And so anyway, but yeah, man, so I appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate you posting that. And I appreciate you having me on your channel here.
Yeah, no, dude, since I met you online, which we met online first before we met in person. But since I met you online, I even looked up our first interview together, and I said in the beginning of this interview, I said, you just ooze truth. You just have this like ability to, like, it just comes out of your mouth and your body and your essence. I love that about you. But I remember in that time, we're all very excited about sharing and about what was going on. And there was this energy of, man, I got to tell people what's going on. I got to let people know what is going on. Maybe I'm the only one that sees this. I don't know. So that was at least my energy back then, my drive. What was it for you back then? What started your path really into wanting to speak out and share the experiences that you were seeing in this reality?
Well, I always share the story how I followed in my dad's footsteps. My dad basically passed the baton on to me at an early age. You know, just with the whole pharmaceutical industry, how the corruption there, and just, you know, they really don't want to cure disease. They just want to manage it. And, you know, I love how you mentioned decentralization, that we're going to be talking about that, because we need decentralization in healthcare. We need to, you know, when I think of decentralization, I think of moving away from the center of, you know, the whole word D is moving away from central, moving away from a centralized control or a centralized authority, whatever it may be. But, you know, my dad, we grew up in a natural healthcare family. I mean, we very homeopathic based. If I got sick, my dad gave me zinc, you know, and he got me adjusted, and he gave me probiotics. You know, there was never pharmaceuticals. And so that's what I grew up with. And, you know, and my dad would always just rant and rave about, you got to get the probiotics. You got to get the acidophilus. You got a cold, get the zinc. Like, that was our growing up. That was what we did. And I never once had a, you know, the whole poison inside my body through a needle as a kid, and either did my siblings, and nor did my kids have any, and they're as healthy as can be. And we trust the innate intelligence inside the body, really just to optimize the body. You know, your body can be well, and that's what it's all about. So that's basically how that journey led on. And I saw my dad go through a lot of struggles in the family because, you know, there's a lot of allopathic people in our family, and they just thought we were loons, crazy. So we just, you know, that really just sparked a lot of that conviction early on. And I wanted to know why we feel the way we feel, and why we believe the way we believe. And, you know, the older I got, the more I realized how much of a minority I was in that realm of thinking. And it really didn't just, at first it kind of, I don't think it had ever really discouraged me. All that did was really fuel the conviction, because it's like they're not being told the truth. And I have a heart for the truth, and I have a heart for these people to know the truth. And that's the way I view it. They can call me whatever they want. They can slander me in the media. The president can call me out. They've done that. They've taken my accounts. They've seized my money. They've done a lot of things that are nasty, and they've called me nasty things. But the one thing they can't say about me is that, you know, some of that stuff, like, you know, they can call me what they want, but really when it boils down to it is I care about them, and I care about the truth being told, and and that's what it's all about. I want true health. I want people to understand what it means to be truly healthy, and I want people to know that they can be well. Big Pharma has done such a great job at convincing the people to become their diagnosis, and to, you know, and then provide the solution. It's not really a solution. It's a managing pill. That's what I call these pharmaceutical pills. They're treating symptomatology, and they're never curing disease. There's no money in the cure. I mean, that's and so they just want to manage disease, and they do it very well with these prescriptions. I mean, if it worked, why do you need a refill, right? And so but anyway, that's kind of the mindset I grew up with, and that's basically what sparked a lot of this. And we saw a lot of this coming prior to 2020. It wasn't just like, oh, 2020, let's go, time to get going. I mean, we started Nebraska's for medical freedom in 2017. We've been fighting this fight for a long time. We saw all this stuff coming our way. So, you know, people didn't know who I was prior to 2020. It's because I got, you know, I was already speaking out against all this stuff coming in, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's like God gave me this megaphone. Oh, I get to speak on a louder platforms and in a bigger audience, and that's basically what it's all about.
I love that. And actually, I didn't know that you had been down this road of at least talking about it since 2017. That's awesome. And it makes sense. It's like God prepared you for this moment to give you, okay, now you're ready. Here's the megaphone.
Dude, totally. 100%, man. So that's, you know, it's fun. It's, I got to meet some really cool people like yourself. I got, you know, I consider you a friend, and, you know, and really, I feel like that God brought just a lot of awesome people in my life. And, you know, iron sharpens iron, a friend sharpens a friend. And we have, you know, just a lot of relationships. Whoa, got a bug on me. We're out in the woods. So A lot of friendships have been made, and that's what's been really unique, especially in the office. I sold my clinic 6 months ago. I'm looking at starting another clinic here, but just the amount of people, like our tribe, have really rose to the occasion and shown support. Excuse me. I mean, we put out a documentary, and
No, right?
TheTimeIsNow.Movie. Yeah, you can go to TheTimeIsNow.Movie. It's funny because there's another movie that came out called The Time Is Now. The same time we put ours out, it's almost like a conspiracy. But right. And so The Time Is Now.Movie, not .com, but The Time Is Now.Movie. But anyway, that movie.
You guys can take a look here. There it is. All right.
So thanks for pinning that. But that movie, what I'm saying is, the tribe of people basically funded that film. You guys and our supporters completely funded that film, which is a miracle in itself. We didn't try to prosper. We didn't make anything in that movie. We just try to get it out there. We gave it away for free. We're not trying to monetize it. We just want people to see it. And so
I love that you did that. Okay. And it seems like the side of truth is organizing and getting a little more organized every day. To the point where I see a clear path, at least in my perspective, I see a clear path of really organizing like an official organization, like actually creating official systems that are not their systems and directing that energy as precise as we can make it. So I want to kind of just shift the discussion to that a little bit and what that actually looks like. What does decentralization actually look like? And one of the things I've noticed is that even in this movement, the people that are in this movement are getting sucked into the mainstream narrative. They're doing the same thing essentially. The mainstream media is doing what they do best: is take a new opportunity or take a new tool that gets introduced to this reality and starts to bastardize it and starts to manipulate the information, distort it. So I'm like, oh, we got to normalize our own conversation. We got to normalize our own narrative about this tool. So that's why I'm doing these lives, really. That's why I'm bringing this up, and I'm trying to have these discussions as much as I can. So the path towards true decentralization, in my opinion, is only going to start at the local and private levels.
Right.
Until we can understand these systems and see how they work, we're always going to be going and using theirs, the public versions of the systems.
Right.
So what is your perspective on crypto, and how far have you dove in?
Dude, I've been investing in cryptocurrency since 2017. I was one of those guys that convinced everybody and their brother to invest in a cryptocurrency in 2017 prior to the first crash in crypto. And I basically, when that happened, I had to hide for a few months because my dad was like, Ben, I invested thousands of dollars in this.
You pull them at the top, yeah.
Yes, dude. So I had no idea what I was doing. Like, throw your money in there. So I lost a lot of money. But I like I said, I have a lot of cryptocurrency. I got locked out of some exchanges, so I learned the hard way on what to do with cryptocurrency when you invest into it. I think it's very volatile. I think it's exciting. I think it might be the internet, 3.0 or 2.0. What do they say? 2.0. 3.0. Okay, I'm with it. I'm cool.
I'm hip. Guys, come on.
Yeah, right, dude. I'm cool. I know what's up. But dude, you got I just don't know enough about it. I really think it could be a tool for the people to really decentralize, because I know we're heading into the centralization of digital currency. So we got to fight fire with fire here, or what do we do? Because I have a lot of questions. I just don't know. I'm a hillbilly that lives in the woods. I just don't know enough about cryptocurrency that I got money in it. I got, a Coinbase account. I got some exchanges, and I forgot all the exchanges that I've been on. My cryptos, some of these exchanges I haven't logged into for a year or two, but it's I just, I love it, and I hope it can be in our favor. That's what I'm hopeful for. I'm hopeful that it can slow this whole Fed now garbage coming down our pipeline and just truly decentralize it. I just don't know enough about the technology yet. I trust you, and I trust guys that know a lot more than me that say, dude, it could totally be for the people if we utilize it and get it on the ground floor. And I'm all for that. So my question is this then.
and this kind of is going to all wrap around, and then we can kind of end with this conversation. But so you've been talking against this system for a while. There was one video that you even did. You went to a court and you did this speech, which was beautiful, and it went viral. And I feel like that's why you became a part of that 12.
Oh, 100%.
So here's my question. Has your perspective or energy shifted since then? Do you still feel the want and the need to fight against that system, or have you shifted into something different?
I mean, I'm still very much active in the system and the fight. I've been, I just got done with a freedom rally last weekend, spoke there. I'm traveling here in a couple of weeks to go speak at a college. I'm speaking at the Iowa freedom rally here coming up. So I'm very much active in it. It's weird because the stage just got bigger. That's basically what it did. And, I was on the local level fighting, and, that first video went viral, and other videos have went viral. They just been taken down.
Right.
But my focus has shifted a lot too. I mean, I'm still very much active. I don't want to say I'm not. But I bought an acreage, and I'm really focused on homesteading and trying to be self-sufficient and try to be wise with, raising a family in a way that we can survive, let's say, a Great Depression or a major transition. Because even if we do, let's say decentralization blows up, and this thing really takes off and it's good for the people, and we truly have like this freedom from the centralized authority, right? Or let's say the dollar collapses or something catastrophic happens. I'm not looking for the government to take care of me. We need to be independent from these systems. And I try to visualize and imagine what life was like 100 years ago for the families. Like, that's not that long ago, or 150 years ago, without the dependency of grocery stores, the dependency of the system. And so that's where I'm focusing all my time and energy on. And I realize that there is a wealth of wisdom in homesteading. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, I've been foraging in the woods here, and just the amount of food that the forest provides, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it provides food throughout the...
It's actual abundance.
Dude, it's absolutely insane. I mean, we just learned about these autumn berries, or they're called autumn olives. I posted on my Instagram, and very few people really liked it. It's funny. If I post something about like political, it gets thousands of likes. If I post something, hey, look about autumn berries. Oh, I got 150 likes on that video. It's like nobody really cares. But it's like unfortunate because people need to know about these things. Like the autumn berries and autumn olives they're more nutrient dense than a tomato. They're called a superfood, and they look like they're smaller than a jelly bean. And they have, 17 times more lycopene than a tomato does, which is great for prostate cancers and colon cancers. And it's highly packed in vitamin and minerals. And my property is filled with these berries. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. And I was like, off my hedge trimmer, like, they're in my driveway.
Oh, that's...
No. And I was like, what are these things? I was like, no, I can't cut these down. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm sorry, guy. But I have so many of them. So we have been picking them left and right. So anyway, I don't even know how I got on this topic, but just something to learn about homesteading. There's so much wisdom and lost knowledge in foresting and foraging and homesteading, and it's insane. I mean, I feel like this is what life should be like. We learn these skills and learn these things and pass this on to the children so they can learn and teach them, and that can grow. I mean, because it's a lost art, man. I mean, I'm 40 years young, and and it's like I have people come out here like, wow, I had no idea about those berries, or I had no idea about that, or no idea about this. I'm just like, yeah, who knew? Who knew that? Who knew hackberries had no sap and they create a sweet aroma when you burn it, and because my wife kept saying like, oh, I love the smell of the fireplace. And she's like, I love that smell of wood, because wood has a different scent when you burn it. And this hackberry, we were burning it, and it was like, dude, it smelled so good. It was like an incense in a house. So every once in a while, I'd like open the fireplace door and let that smoke just come out, and it was like
a Palo Alto. It gets a very specific smell.
Yeah, dude, it was so sweet, and anyway, so but yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, which is how dependent is one to their centralized systems. You know, asking that question for yourself. How dependent am I? If the electricity went out, can I make food? Can I do what I need to do in my life? If the gas goes out, if there's no water, if there's no grocery stores, like there's a lot of little things that we've created dependency on in these centralized systems that we've normalized so much that we don't even think about it anymore.
Dude,
so
right.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. And, you know, I'm a person that I try not to lean too hard to any side of the spectrum. I try to find a middle. That's usually where the truth lies. But, you know, I don't want to be the guy in the middle of the woods picking berries. And I love that. And I think that's great. And I love going and doing that and grounding. But I don't want to be that person. I like my stuff. I like the things that I like. But I also don't want to get plugged up to the matrix. You know,
Right.
I don't want to get sucked into the matrix either. I want to be able to still live in this reality, go to the city, do the things I want to do, but not be in control of them, like under their control, using their systems.
100%.
So that's really what I'm talking about. It's not necessarily disconnecting physically per se, but more like metaphysically. How do we protect? The question really is, how do we practically protect our spirit, our metaphysical spirit, so that we're not in that debt slave system? That's what my question is, that narrative that they've normalized of like, well, you know, capitalism is the way. Well, no, hold on a second. Divisive capitalism is not the way. Somebody needing to lose for me to win is not the way. Capitalism, there is a good capitalism. There is a way to make money and do things that everyone wins. It's the mindset, in my opinion, that is keeping us in that
right. When I think of that, I think of crony capitalism. You know, there's capitalism, which is good. I believe in capitalism, but it's the crony capitalism, which again, why we need decentralization, because the crony capitalists are these basically people that are using government as a tool to funnel in their business and shelter out the grassroots people from ever competing. I mean, just look at this automobile industry. Like, I was going to buy these Japanese sports trucks. I had a 1961 Ford Econoline pickup. It was really cool. It looked like the front of it looked like the VW bus truck, you know, but it had a pickup. And that was my Wellness Point mobile. It was super cool. I had it all, it was satin black, and I had plaid seats, and I would just drive that baby to work with my logo on it. Super cool. Well, these Japanese mini trucks came out, and I'm like, dude, this is so cool. I was going to buy one. They like put these little lifts on it. Super cool. I was going to put my logo on it. I was going to buy one. The guy said, listen, man, this isn't street legal. I said, what are you talking about? It's not street legal. He said, the automobile industry basically monopolized the industry. So nobody can drive a car that's imported that's, you know, within 22 years old. It has to be older than 22 years, or you can't make it street legal. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so that just gives you an idea kind of the crony capitalism, and especially pharmaceuticals. I mean, look how, they're monopolizing the healthcare industry. They don't want you well. They censor out anybody that tries to compete with them or speaks out against the narrative. They try to belittle doctors of chiropractic, and they've been doing that for, you know, 100 years. They try to slander us and say that we're not real physicians, but because of our philosophies, our philosophical differences, and they don't want you to know about that. So I'm 100% for the decentralization. I think our government and these systems have grown out of their scope, and they're too powerful. And these things it's a way to control the people. And I, like yourself, do not want to be controlled by these systems. And I feel like we are heading in that direction. So, dude, we need people like you that understand the system, that understands this realm. And I think, dude, your services are going to be needed more than ever before once we go into this realm, because you're going to have people like me that says, Otto, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, dude, and I don't know anything. How do we fight this? So, dude, your voice, it's like you were made for such a time as this. Yes, we're in the healthcare system now. Well, stage 2 of this World Economic Forum stuff is going to this world digital currency. So we need the Otto to be on the microphone with the megaphone saying, this is what we do, friend.
I didn't think about it like that. You're actually blowing my mind right now. I'm like, yes. Oh, crap, you're right. Oh, shit.
Right.
That is that we're moving in the narrative. It's around the money situation now. Wow. I'm actually like, wow, that's interesting. You're right.
100%.
You know, and I thank you for that. I had something to say, and now you like completely threw me off, because that really kind of shook me a little bit, because you're right. It is going towards that direction. And And my goal really is to not teach the things that are happening now. Like what's happening now in crypto is that all the traps. All the traps are happening now. And I've noticed a huge shift in the sentiment around crypto in this movement, in the people in this movement, because they have been just perpetuating the same thing, like still creating the scrutiny from centralized governments, still taxation, all the same stuff. And so I want to try to normalize the opposite conversation, which is no, we can create these systems for ourselves. We can disconnect. Right. Imagine having a private network of the same locations we go to, the same places, but now we're using a private system that is not affected by the mainstream narrative, where it doesn't matter what war is happening around the world, that worth, right? The accumulation of that worth of that energy is secure behind that wall.
Right.
But yeah, man, this is a interesting time to be alive.
Oh yes.
I'm just grateful that I'm a part of this community of people that are willing to step out and talk about it and not, fall to the scrutiny of fear. I do have one last question. Last question. What does abundance mean to you?
Abundance. Time.
You probably already said it. Oh, there it is.
Time. I mean, I believe that, the Bible says the most valuable asset is time. I heard this saying before, but, being rich is measured in, I would say, assets, and then the wealth is measured in time. And so we all are striving for that freedom over time. And that's the ultimate freedom. I mean, there's financial freedom can help you get that freedom over your time. Being healthy can give you more time. And so, but ultimately time is the most valuable asset. And so when I think of abundance, I think of time. Time is very limited on this planet, and we need to enjoy every moment. We need to be present. Present time consciousness is a very big thing. So being in the moment, being present, these phones and the social media and the things in the world today can pull us from what's important. They're distractions. I think distractions are a demon. And I think, we need to be grounded and focused on right in front of us. Be present, go where your feet are. And that present time consciousness is a big deal. So abundance is time. And anything that's going to steal your time is an enemy. So be present.
And you said it right there, man. What is stealing our time? The more we can ask ourselves that question, the more you can sit with yourself and go, what is actually stealing my time here? And really peel back those layers. You'll see how big this thing really is. You'll see how it's getting siphoned away from you and energy being sucked out. Amen. Wow. Love the conversations, man. You just bring it every time, and it's a joy to see your smiling face with that big beard and beautiful hair. I have to put my hair away because I'm like, I can't compete today.
Oh man, Otto, you're a handsome fellow, dude. You're a handsome fellow. You just let that beard do its thing, man. Let that mane do its thing.
I gotta let it do the V, right? The V. Beard.
Dude, yeah, your beard is super thick, dude. That thing would be let the mane do its thing. Just let the mane.
Let the main thing do the main thing.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you guys. Little disclaimer, I've been getting a lot of scammers using my face. So if you guys are watching this and you follow me, make sure you know that I only have 2 accounts. I have this account and my backup Otto Gomes official. Make sure you follow Dr. Ben T4pper. He's always bringing truth and light and love into this reality, and he's just one to follow for sure. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And always remember, gamify your abundance. Peace.
Love you, Otto. Thank you, Otto.